Hello, hello. Welcome back. Back to do more things with Unity. Yay. Well, we're gonna wait for this thing to load. For some reason, taking a little while here. But it shouldn't take too long. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna wait for this to load. So yeah. Uh okay. Let's get this done. I don't know what we're gonna do today. Oh yeah, we're just gonna play around more with mechanics here. Right now, what we have is just this. We have a player that moves, and that's pretty much all it does. So let's get back to movement and animation. Let's open up our scripts by using, I don't know why it doesn't save oh, it saved my settings this time. Okay, so that's good. Let's look at our script currently. And let's also look at our animators too. Yeah, so this is what our animator looks like. Now, if this will load for me, oh, there we go. So, yeah, this is what we currently have for. We don't know how we want to animate this just yet, but we do know is that we can return our body, which is what we did, so that we can just not have to do that. There we go. So that we don't have to access this component. And we can probably just make up this thing actually private. Because that's probably all you need. So we can get rid of this too, just because it's not needed anymore. Okay. So how did we want our thing to work? So we have this animation system that's what we want to take care of. And how are we going to, so we want every time we do a move, we want to animate, right? That's what I'm thinking. So we have here, right? So take damage. We also want to tell the animation systems to update the player. So let's see how we want to, right? We could put it in the update this thing, but that would be really expensive. So we don't know if that's what we want. We could also let this guy do the work, but that doesn't make sense. I guess we should really just draw it out, to be honest. if this can load, which is it's not loading. I'll do that. How do I, what the heck? There we go. So we have player, we have animation system, we have input system, we have animation system. Right, that's what we currently have so far. Now we want to say that if we take an action like move or something, then we want to trigger the animation. So we tell player to move. Player would then give this control to the input system. But the player should also tell the animation system about their animation. So technically the player has control over only, they're basically the controller. So I think that's how we're gonna do this. So let's take a look at animation system and how we actually want to do this. Now this could work. We think is what we can do is instead of doing it like this, we can have player system input system just hold the player. Or the animation system will only just hold the player. I'm gonna be overthinking it. But this will allow you to update really any system. So if we do this way, we can just make it static. Since this will work universally for any player. But if we're talking about code wise, do I want to do like this? Let's do it like this. Let's get the player constructor in here. So we want public. And we want to get this player. This to be private. Can remove this entirely, really. And then we just say this dot player equals player. And something like that. Which will allow me to do this. new player input system, and this. And if this works, we should see that the movement is still working. We just have to wait for this thing to load though. Okay. Yeah, the movement is still working, which means everything's working just fine. So if we go back, get back to our stuff, and we want to make a similar system like this over here. Probably don't need this, really. We don't need this either. We just want a function. So we want a constructor here. Whoops. Let's just say player player this player equals player. That should work. And now what we want is different animations. So animations, I do think that you need to get a component from somewhere. Let me check. Yeah, I think you need the animator controller, or at least this component. So let me just make sure that's correct. Yeah, so you need to get a component, I believe. Or it could be something, or maybe with this, it's the animator that we want, actually. I think it's better just Google. It might be faster just do this. Unity. Let's see how this guy does it. I don't care about is the script part.
In here, we can just see that the component is actually referencing the controller. And so that's why whenever we make a change to our animator controller, it applies to our player. So now we just need to be able to control our animator through our player movement script. And to do that, we need to reference it. So we'll go in here and create a public animator, and we'll just call it animator. And that's basically it. If we now save this and go into Unity, we can see that we have this empty animator field. And this is where we can drag in our animator component. So now every time we write art, and it will actually be negative whenever, and as soon as we stop, he goes.
I think I get it.
We need a new parameter. So let's hit the plus sign. Controller function, we need to mark it as public. And this might look a bit strange to you. Normally people associate public with variables, but we can actually make functions public as, and as soon as we land, it transitions right back. Super cool. We can also see that for some reason it only plays the first frame of our jump animation. And the reason for that is that if we go into our animator and check the transition going to our jump and then go under settings, it's currently set to can transition to self. So what's currently happening is that whenever we're jumping, it's actually just transitioning to jump over and over and over again. And so it's stuck on the very first part of that animation. If we remove that, it will only transition to jump once and then play the jump animation, and then as soon as it's done, it will either go idling or running. So if we play the game with that change, we can see that our jump animation works perfectly. And the final thing that we want to go in here and add is the crouch animation. So let's drag this to the side up here. And first we want to be able to crouch from idling. So we'll add a transition to crouch here. Let's select it and let's add a condition. But first we need a new parameter. So we'll go in here and create a boolean called isCrouching. And of course we want the condition to be that if crouching.
Okay, so I think I get it. It should give us enough information to work with. So let me get rid of this, really. Let's get back to it. Okay. Okay, so let's try to get this to work here. So let's get back in here, and we want an animation system. What we want is an animator, apparently. We want to say dot equals get animator. This should allow us to get, and the animator will allow us to do more things. So if you really think about this, we don't even need the system, but we'll keep it separate for now. So I'll keep it here for now, but I don't think we add. Okay, so we want right now is we're gonna ignore this for now, and we're just this because I think this by itself is pretty much a system on its own. So we don't need to do too much with it, right? So let's just do that. So how are we gonna do this? So how we are going to do this is we are going to yeah. Let's just start with a simple one, right? We want to start with whenever we're walking. But right now we don't have any function that does this. Okay, so I guess we do need the system. I take that back, right? We do probably want the system. Since the animation will always be checking. It's not gonna be checking based on input, it's gonna be checking based on update like this. But that's probably not very performant if I think about it. Because that is a terrible idea, not thinking about it. What we really want is anytime we move and then we do stuff like that. So every time I do stuff like this, we want to do the set movement. Okay, so we want, if we ever set is moving, then we want animator. So technically, we probably don't even need this variable if we think about it. Do animator dot, can we get like get? Okay, so we probably don't need this actually. This. And we just said is moving. And then we also want the ID, which in our case is moving. Is this wrong? Oh, that ain't my fault, though. It can only take a string. I see. I did not know this existed. We can technically create a key of stuff. We can probably do more. Right, one is moving in direction. Means we can remove this. And where is direction declared? Okay. Make this private. Should I call it key? How do I do this? Execute this. Probably want like animator key. I want like an object for the way to store this, so I don't have naming conflicts like this. Because this is pretty awful looking, to be honest. Key. I want something like key dot whatever. I wonder how people do that. Do they just make like a whole different class? Call it animation key, player animation key. That might be what we want, to be honest. Key. And we're just gonna move this in here. We want to really just make this static. Because we don't, oh shoot. Get rid of this namespace stuff. I'm not gonna use that. And we will, does that not work? Maybe I'm just over complicating this, cause yeah. Let me remove this for now. Let's just forget this ever existed. We will just work with raw strings for now. About moving, keep moving. I'll call this key direction. That will be probably better to do. Key moving. And then for direction, for is moving, we just say animator dot get bool key moving. And here we return animator dot get integer key direction. Same here, we want to do this. Key direction. Set floats. Was it? Oh, integer actually. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. Which makes this not really used because we don't need this anymore. And we want here. I want to do that here. Now I want to do player dot set direction to 0. I want this to be 2. One and it's 3. And every time we're here, we also want dot set is moving to true for every instance that we are moving. Otherwise, it is false. This is the most redundant way, but I think should work. That's what it looks like. Did it save? You compile. Okay, now it's compiling. Let's see what it looks like right now. Okay, I see something's happening. But does not look right. Do you see this? Yeah, I don't think this is right. So let's take a look at why that is happening. Let's look at Animator and we take a look at our code. If direction is 2 and moving is false, we go to idle. What is this down? Okay, that's what it looks like. So I'm not sure. And you say it doesn't have an exit time or any condition be ignored. So let's get rid of this for now. Side animation, side idle, since we don't need this. We just want down, up and down. Seems like we always go back to idle down. Something is wrong here for sure. Right now it's idling at 0. But if I move up, it does not move up. For some reason, pressing left or right actually moves it, which makes no sense. I am not sure what's going on. It's supposed to set direction to 0 and set moving is true. And if we look at the animator, if we go up, idle in direction this is true and it's 0. So why is this not doing what I think it should be doing? Am I missing something? Previous door stayed down idle. Not sure what is going on. Left or right should not trigger anything else. Let me comment this out just to make sure that something isn't really wrong with something. Go to run. That way we cannot move left or right. We can only move them down. Because that makes no sense. Yeah, stuff though. But the state parameters don't make any sense. Can I drag this away? Put on. Is it me or is this not even changing? What if we use raw string instead? Let's try that instead. Something is going on and I don't know what. Okay, so for some reason the hashing thing is terrible. So that's the problem. It's this thing. This thing does not work. So we should probably remove this entirely. Interpolation. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so now that we have that figured out, I no longer have to worry. So if you run this again, you should see that we'll be able to run all directions as long as my variable system is still legal. Oh my bad. Alright, let's stop this. So now if I play, what the heck? It's not working. Okay, I guess that's where we should start with the basics. Let me get rid of all this. It could be because of how I'm doing this. That's causing it to do that. So if I do that instead, nah, it still doesn't work. Doesn't even want to move downward. Back on. Oh. So basically what's going on is that set moving is always false unless I have both left and right activated because of this. So we need to somehow tie this in so it doesn't do that, which is going to be a little bit difficult. So let's see how we want to actually do this. I think what we want, because we want to be able to move left and right at the same time, so we don't want to chain them together. I guess we can say if none of these Kiko are pressed, then we set it to false. Lies. Check. That's the only way I think about it. Have a check in the beginning. I don't think this is the best way to do it, but I mean if it works, it works. Want to return, and we want to. Never mind, that did not work. Oh, okay, I'm getting something. However, nothing is getting set to false, which is kind of a problem here. Especially if not any of this is true. If no key W, no key S, no key D, and no key A, then we should stop. We should set to false. But for some reason, one of them is false, true, or something. It's causing me to run forever. Oh, you know why? It's because there's no animation to go back. That must be why. Kind of just bidirectional. Let's do this. Problem is any time you want to transition from any state, because you want really to be able to transition from any state. We walk down, we can go walk down, but we can also walk up instantly. Or we can transition to idle if we go up. That doesn't work though, because how am I supposed to transition? We could say if direction is not this, then we don't do that. Condition. There's no or condition here. Doesn't even work. So I think now we can do the any state, to be honest. Can remove most of these. If I just remove this, and I remove this, and I just say from any state that we're move up and down. Can I copy this? It's moving in direction is equal to 2. That way it doesn't really matter. And no matter what, we want to be able to transition down back into this as long as the state is moving as false in direction. Which is 2 in this case. So wait, let's get back in here. So now no matter what, as long as direction is down, I can keep moving like this. What? But there is kind of a bug. So if I go up instantly, it does not work. Despite saying set direction to 0. In fact, give me infinite loop. I guess it's because it has no idea where to go from this state. That's probably why, actually. I wonder if we can transition to self. Plus, I don't really mind. You can transition to self. That's pretty cool. But it kind of already transitions to itself. It's just really confusing, to be honest. Do you want to be able to walk up and down and transition from any state? Because let's try to do everything else. Probably get rid of this. So if this is correct, we should be able to move up and down at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but like it should work. It does work, but it looks really off. What can transition to? Let's see what that means. That what I mean? Okay, I think I get what that means soon. This must be transition to self where you can't see the text. Okay. Yeah. Duration percent from current state. Duration and normalized time from current state. What does that mean? I could get it at fixed duration, but then it'll lag instantly. I wanted to like cut off the moment something changes. Interruption source. Current state to next state. What does that mean? From next state, let's just say that we do that, then we might be able to see some difference here. Why is it lagging so hard like that? Do you see the time it takes for it to move? That's wild. What in the world? What is this? Yeah, I got no idea, bro. This is confusing. God. This is what I want to see. let's try that again. Let's see if this works now. Don't think it does. I probably need to do more research on this. See what we can do, because right now it's still pretty bad. Yeah, this is pretty awful. What in the world? It does not do what we want it to do. Yeah, this is real confusing. I'll take a look at this later. But for now, we made a little bit of progress. Not too much, but we'll finish this. Alright guys, have a good one guys. Bye. See you next week.